We wanted a school which was really part of the community. And I use the word school, but really we wanted a building where learning took place, which was as deinstitutionalised as we could possibly make it.
It had to be a community building where learning would take place during school hours, but it was open all day, all year.
We were quite clear in the design that we wanted flexible teaching spaces. So year groups can move around from one space to another. We can have Y6s with Y1s, we can have Y2s with Y5s. We can move teachers around. They aren't stuck in their own classroom for the next X number of years.
We wanted every learning space to link to the outside, so every learning space has its own outdoor learning area.
We wanted somewhere where the children would develop, mature, become independent young people. Even the very young children, we felt that that was really important for them. We wanted spaces where teachers could actually learn from each other. So we could put inexperienced teachers with more experienced teachers. We could put teachers who were struggling maybe with behaviour management, for example, with a teacher who was handling behaviour management really well.
The process of creating the vision, creating the brief and then building the school seemed to take forever. That's the bad news. The good news was that thinking time before any bricks were laid meant we could really define our vision, that was the school's vision, reflect the community's vision, which fortunately was the same vision, and then be able to have time to explain to the architect, to explain to the contractors what we wanted. And what we wanted was not a school, or at least not a school like we'd been to.
When we were putting the vision together, we did a project with the children, and the children went around and took photographs of things that they liked in their current schools and things that they didn't like.
We wanted the lift for the people that had disabilities, because there was one boy last year who had disabilities and he couldn't go upstairs. But now they can move around a lot more, which I like. That was good.
We talked to the parents, we ran workshops for the parents, and the architects came and did some of that, and they just had lots and lots of different images of different materials, different buildings, and the parents just had a look, and quite simple really, just stuck on big sheets of paper what they did like, what they didn't like, if they liked glass, if they liked cement, what colours they might like to see in the building.
With the old school, we had a lot of parents training, so we had groups of parents coming in, learning how to communicate with children. We did different courses, and it was quite difficult to concentrate because it was inside the staff room. So we felt sort of, taking the staff space. So I made a suggestion to have a multifunctional area where we can have homework club, we can have parents training without disturbing the staff or using their mugs or cups or the toilets basically.
We had building groups of whichever governors and staff wanted to turn up, and when they made a decision, that was the decision. It would be reported to other people, reported to the full board of governors, but it was never revisited, it was accepted. And that happened throughout the project. Whoever was given the job at the time, at a site meeting perhaps, of making a decision, they made that decision, and we never went back on it.
One of the first things that happened was that the architect, the landscape designer, some of the people that were involved in the project from the builders' side spent quite a bit of time in school just to get to know us, to sit down with the children, have school dinner with the children, wander around the building so that they could begin to understand what we wanted. And I think that was really important because for us it showed to us that they were committed to the project.
Some people might have said it was a difficult relationship in that it's challenging. If people have strong views about things, it's quite challenging. And I remember them coming to me with ideas about wanting a kind of cuddly, soft, organic building. And I had to tell them that very early on we couldn't afford to do that. And yet they feel now that they've got everything that they asked for. But what they've got is they've got it in a different form because they understood what they wanted, and I took that and gave them what they needed, but not necessarily in the form they asked for it.
What we learned was to know what we wanted, to express it strongly, to help the team build itself, and absolutely be part of it. There are two ways of doing these projects, I guess. One is to have it done to you, and the other is to have it done with us. We had it done with us, and we had fun as well.
You have to start from what you want and what you believe and what you want for your community, and then look at the constraints afterwards and see how you can manage those constraints, but don't let them stop you doing what you want to do.
It's not possible to have sustainability in your project and everything else because it is an add-on cost. So the way we've tried to address it is to look at things that add value. For us, just a key example that's a very visible one would be the planted roof. And we never argued that for sustainability, or habitat or wildlife, because we would have lost it on that basis. So it was the teaching resource. It's the fact that it helps us with particularly summertime cooling. It's part of stormwater management and rainwater runoff. There are good technical reasons for having it before you get to any of the visible sort of green stuff. And that protects those things in the project.
I would never have believed that a new building could have the impact in teaching and learning and the involvement of the local community that this has had in such a short space of time.
In this school, it's more fun how the teachers teach us, so that we get more lessons done and we get it done quicker.
It's really great. It's got posh stuff here, so a lot of stuff better than the old school.
Walking into the place when it was finished, it was just astonishing, and a great feeling of pride, I guess. A pride for myself, because I've been part of the team, but pride for the community too, I think, that this is a place where, for many years hence, young people will grow into wiser people. Their parents and their carers will have an opportunity to see their children grow and even have an opportunity for themselves to grow.
We do feel the school is heart of the community. Lynn and the staff doesn't only cater for the children, they cater for the mothers. The whole family can be involved here. So we don't only see it as the school just to dump the children or maybe get the children's education, get them out of the way. We see it as we need to come to the school.
I can't believe how the design of the building has changed the relationships between adults and children so much, how those are much more positive now, how children respond to the adults in a far more human sort of way. There doesn't seem to be that big barrier between us and the children.
It's great. It's amazing. It's wonderful. It's like everything that I'd pictured it. It was so cool.